and welcome to the Any Given Sunday Australia podcast, Division Previews, episode number 3, the AFC North. This one is, we talked about dumpster fire the last two, dumpster fires even, the last two. This one is going to be hot, Danny Boy, at Danny Webb, AGSAU.
This one's just straight fire. Get rid of the dumpster. This division has so much in it and so much to talk about. It's hot.
Charlie Pick. This one is especially good on view of the hater of the Aaron Rodgers variety.
Absolutely plenty to talk about the long, slow decline of Aaron Rodgers. But this is the division that I'm glad my team's not in. Like, whoever comes out of here has had to really earn it and, are going to be in contention. And obviously we're talking about some teams that are genuinely in contention, can make it to a Super Bowl. And there's narratives for days through the whole
There's so
division.
many narratives in this episode. We'll start off with the introductions of players, either through the draft or pickups. I'm going to start off with the Ravens. They've brought in, on the offensive side, Danny Boy, you love this one, wide receiver, DeAndre Hopkins.
They brought him in and, he said as soon as he got there, his one goal was to get the Ravens over this hump and actually get him to the Super Bowl, which is, huge thing for him to say. Just played with the Chiefs, got to the Super Bowl, unfortunately lost, and now he's gone straight to another team. He's like, yep, one and only goal, Super Bowl. I love when any player comes in with that sort of attitude.
Yeah, and he's still got it. When he was doing great things for the Chiefs, he really got them out of some tough situations and games, and I think he could be that X factor for the Ravens.
I think the Chiefs underutilized him, to be honest. You've got Patrick Mahomes throwing a D-Hop who, we've seen him do some crazy things in the past. Well, maybe D-Hop was slowed up or banged up and we just didn't know and they didn't release it. Or the Chiefs just completely missed the opportunity there.
The Ravens weren't struggling on offense either. So just to add him in, whether he's a second, third, fourth receiver, him and Lamar have history. So it'll be a nice little, coming of...
They're absolutely stacked with offensive weapons. Absolutely stacked. Scary team to face.
I really like the Ravens this year, and it's because they've added on the defense. So Jair Alexander coming from the Packers, which I'll talk about. Also, Malachi Starks in the draft, just really adding that defensive weapons almost that they needed, and really shores it up. Jair, I loved him at the Packers. The only thing, and I think we've spoken about this before, the best ability is availability. That's his only real knock, is when he gets injured, he gets big injuries and can miss quite a bit of time. But when he's on the field, he's top 2, I think, cornerbacks in the league.
And Malachi Starks, a lot of teams wanted him in the draft. A lot of teams who really needed cornerbacks were after Starks. And so I personally was upset when the Ravens got him. I thought he is exactly what you need in the secondary. I think he'll be good this year. He'll be great next year. At corner, they're really plugging their holes. They've got a lot. They are as all in as any team in the whole NFL to win, to get over the hump and go to the Super Bowl.
And the Ravens' issue last year was really that their defense was banged up and injured towards the second half of last season. So now to stack that as well as having a stacked offense. We're going to be talking about the Ravens a lot this year.
It's not a hot take, but I genuinely think these two picks or pickups are what pushes them over the line and to really push them up towards number 1 seed in the AFC. And they've got some weapons on the offense which we don't need to talk about. Steelers, we do need to talk about, Danny Boy.
Yeah, so Aaron Rodgers finally signed his deal. What was it, in June? It was so late. Everyone knew that he was going to the Steelers. Well, everyone assumed he was going to the Steelers because they had no one else. But finally signed his deal, decided that he's going there. Already is rumoured to be his final season, so he's gone on a little bit of a farewell tour.
I think he's confirmed it.
Oh, has he?
Yeah.
Oh, well, there you go. So he's gone on his little farewell tour. They added DK Metcalf from the Seahawks, Darius Slade from the Eagles. So they're adding on both sides, and they also had an A-grade draft. So they went out and picked up a variety of positions that they need to plug some holes, and they're coming off a winning season. But the real question really comes around...
For the 45th year in a row.
Yeah, the real question comes around Aaron Rodgers and what can he still do? Is he going to play like he did towards the second half of last season with the Jets, where he actually kind of looked like the Aaron Rodgers of old for a couple of snaps? Or is he going to play like how he started with the Jets with the snapped Achilles?
Yeah, I mean, for Aaron's sake and for all of our sakes, I hope he doesn't do another Achilles. I think that would be bad for football, bad for Aaron. I just haven't heard any talk about, like, normally you would expect some talk coming out of Pittsburgh going, I tell you what, Rodgers, he's back. Like, haven't heard anything. Haven't heard any Rodgers hype. It could be, though, just Rodgers fatigue, and the media is so sick of talking about him. And you could see that in that, when he finally signed that contract, everyone had stopped talking about that contract a month before. He must have been disappointed. He was like, why isn't everyone speculating every day, about my contract? So I don't know. Has he learned lessons? Has he changed at all? I don't think so. Is he washed? Yes. I think it takes a bit more than DK Metcalf to make him, to bring him back as a force in the league. But he's playing for legacy. Like, he's absolutely playing to end on a good season so we can wave and go, yep, I'll see you at the Hall of Fame, everyone.
Well, do you reckon that's why he went to the Steelers? He went to the Steelers because they haven't had a losing record in so long, so he can finish on a winning record.
Maybe.
Wasn't going to do that at the Jets, was he?
Or maybe it was no one else was asking.
So I love the contrast between, the three of us. I think he's very much... I wouldn't be surprised if Coach Tomlin's been like, mate, we're not talking about this. It's going to stay out of the media. We're just going to go about our business. TJ Watt has signed. He's in there. He's the highest paid non-QB of all time. I reckon they're just slowly just getting their pieces right. DK looks amazing on film, which, no one puts out bad film. I don't know. I just sneakily, I think this is the toughest division again this year. They kind of weighed off the last couple of years. NFC North took over that mantle, but I reckon these guys are pushing right back up there. Bengals are going to be good again. This is going to be a tough division besides the Browns.
What, you're saying the Browns aren't going to be competing
They are.
to take out the AFC North? Are you sure?
I don't start think they're going to be competing.
Well, let's talk Bengals. Who did the Bengals pick up?
So the Bengals in their top, out of their top 4 picks, had 3 defenders go there, which is something they've desperately needed. We saw in quarterback, Joey B was doing everything he could. They started off so poorly last year and still almost made the playoffs because they finally managed to turn it around. But a lot of that was coming on the defensive side of the ball. That's where the issues was.
The struggles, 100%.
The struggles, because they were just trying to outscore people on offense, which if you've got Joey B, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, you're probably going to score a fair bit. But to try and outscore every single team, it's a tiring thing for the offense to do. So they've gone out and tried to fill their defense through the draft, which is a really smart thing for them to do, and something that was desperate.
But that was the challenge. Like you reel off the names there. You got Burrow, Chase, Higgins, and they've all been paid a lot.
Oh, mega bucks.
So the Bengals have not had a lot of money to play around with. Have they solved the Hendrickson problem? Did they pick up enough on the edge, enough on the D line for the fact that they've got a disgruntled Trey Hendrickson still asking for a contract?
Well, and he's a non-participant in all preseason, all training camp. He's showing up. He's around the team.
He'll be fresh as a daisy for the first round.
Yeah,
sure.
But he's still not playing. He still played 0 snaps, which is a worry.
Yeah,
he did enough because it's $50,000 a day once you're into training camp. So I think he did enough, put his jersey on to be like, "Wow, I'm here. You're not finding me anymore."
Yeah.
But I'm not participating.
But it's interesting. The Bengals have a bad reputation for being tight-fisted over time, and obviously they've got the checkbook out for Chase and Burrow and Higgins. But I think there's a question there. Given the defense was the problem, yes, they drafted well, but Burrow can say, you have to pay Higgins, you have to pay Chase, and do that. I'd like it if Burrow was out there saying, and you have to pay Hendrickson as well. If your priority is just the offense, then you're as well as you might draft, you're not going to solve the defense, and that it could be that still comes back to haunt them later in the season.
We saw it in the first preseason game. The Bengals came out and Joey B actually did the first 2 drives, scored on both drives. The offense isn't the problem; it is the defense.
And also the defense. If I'm correct, who'd they play in the preseason? The opener? Who was it? Eagles, and it wasn't the Eagles starters on the offense that were out there, and the Bengals were struggling.
Yeah,
it was the second and third team that were out there for the Eagles, and the Bengals were struggling on defense against them.
And it was their first stringers.
Yeah,
yes, 3 of them are going to be rookies, or if not more, or unsigned free agents. But still, you really, really need to be competing, especially in those preseason games. You need to have your defense on lock, and they don't.
We spoke about it with you and I spoke about with Tiff Krylov in the summer series, Shamar Stewart was a big problem throughout the pre-season, but he has signed and he is on board. Wondering if that gets Trey Hendrickson on board as well.
We'll
Because
see.
that was
I think
pretty
they're
much signed and sealed, but then it was guaranteed money.
Yeah, that's right. But it was a very different, such a different situation. One is a rookie who was being asked to sign a contract different to the agreed standard rookie contract and be the first player to change
first round pick. All the other
round pick.
All the other round picks have done it.
Yeah.
Which I think the sticking point is if you go to prison, you don't get paid. Which I feel like that's probably fair.
I'd say that's fair enough.
Yeah, it's interesting negotiation.
That's the sticking point. If I go to prison, you still got to pay me.
Yeah. Although, are you just planning for the future if you if you keep that? But yeah, we'll see. I still think I'll believe it when I see it with the Bengals defense. I think it and it could be it's the defense that is that slow start, and that's once again at the end of the season comes back to haunt.
We saw with QB though, they had so many games last year that were one-score games, like
overtime games.
Overtime, they nearly beat the Chiefs except for a dodgy penalty. Like they were so close. So if this defense can turn it around, they are going to be an absolute force in a tough division.
Yeah, for sure. And then that's the biggest question mark. And we're going to have to wait till the actual season to see if they get it answered.
All right, let's all talk about the Browns. There's enough QBs in their locker room for us to go 2 each.
Yeah.
Which is so shit. But they are a real problem.
And all 4 of them have been new additions this year. So you got Joe Flacco, Kenny Pickett. Sorry, hang on, let me start that again. Joe Flacco, injured. Kenny Pickett, injured. Dylan Gabriel, question mark. And then Shedeur Sanders, who was like the biggest hype man coming into the draft and then fell to whatever round he got picked up in.
That is all true. I have to say I hated the discourse around Sanders in the draft. I hated all of the talk about it and the speculation as to why he wasn't getting caught. Yeah, it was interesting. Maybe he didn't interview well. But people like Daniel Jeremiah, who take their pre-draft analysis very seriously, had him going in the first round, rated him as a first-round quarterback. And you have a look at what's happened so far with Sanders. It's funny, a lot of people were initially saying Sanders he's only training with the third team. That means that he must be crap. They don't like him. But what that actually meant was he was getting more one-on-one time with all of the coaching staff and the head coach. Like he was actually, they were investing more time and reps into him rather than sharing reps with the first team. And he played well in the first preseason game. There's every reason to believe that the Browns quarterback problem isn't going to be a quarterback problem. We've got some hot takes coming up.
Could he be
I think there's a hot take there.
Well, it's not quite a Tom Brady. He was number 1. He was a number 4 at Michigan like Brady was. But coming in and being that real problem, we even got Maxie Rampling, our good mate, who messaged me and said, is this guy for real or is this just preseason hype?
Well, he went out there and he performed. He performed well. His highlights, his tape looked good. He looked like he was in control. There was a couple times he had to scramble and pulled out of the pocket, still threw touchdown passes from it. Like, those plays weren't drawn up perfectly, but he was composed and got the job done. So at the moment, like, to me, he's not that much of a question mark. And at the time of recording right now, we're in between game 1 and game 2 of the preseason. So we haven't seen Dylan Gabriel suit up and take those first string snaps. So it'll be interesting to see after that if he can compete with Sanders or if it's maybe Sanders going to be QB1 come week 1.
The other X factor in there is Flacco. Obviously injured
right now.
You
also have Tyler Huntley.
Yeah, oh my God.
Oh, Tyler Huntley was a recent
because
signing.
they were all injured.
Like 2 or 3 days ago.
But what does Flacco believe his role is at the Browns? Is he there as like the Andy Dalton, hold it down, do a business like job of it, or does he still remember the season that he saved the Browns and does he want to do it again? Like, does he actually have the fire in the belly to be more than that?
It's a question we can't answer.
No, probably should have got him. But I think that's a question for the season.
Oh, 100%. Surely he sees himself as the Andy Dalton. I'm going to just be the godfather of these 17 quarterbacks that we have in our room.
I think if he was going to try and do what he did last time and turn around the Browns, he probably wouldn't have gone back to the Browns to turn.
Yeah, I
it
think that's
around.
right. I think you're right. It's so funny the way you
how did he
described
turn
that.
him
Then
around?
I was actually saying like Sister Mary in Maria in The Sound of Music coming in and looking after all the Von Trapp children. That's now how I see the Browns. It's just all these Von Trapp children,
Yep.
and Flacco teaching them how to sing.
It can only mean good things.
Yeah.
All right, we've spoken about the players they've brought in, but what about players that aren't really getting talked about in these teams?
Well, he will get talked about the whole time for the Ravens, but Derrick Henry, he's 31 now. He's going into another season where he dominated last time. Is he going to continue to dominate, or is his age going to slightly slow him down? I can't see it. They call him
Did you
King.
see the photo? Like, he is bigger. Somehow he's enormous.
So the King Henry had to get a bigger crown because his head's too big now.
But that's
does.
it. Like your older quarterbacks, the conventional wisdom is they'll have a great season and then they'll have a down year afterwards. Just the body can't bounce back. But Henry's never been like that. Even when he's been coming back from serious injury, he just works harder. His body recovers well. He remains just the most terrifying thing on a football field.
Imagine having him run straight at you. Like, imagine being that defender, like that down backer or whoever's going to go after him. Imagine being that guy being like, oh, like
then
you've got King Henry.
And that's the thing about the Ravens is you go, holy shit, I've got to tackle him. Then you turn around, he doesn't even have the ball. It's Lamar Jackson running away. You're like, fuck.
Yeah, the Ravens are trouble. They really are.
Yeah. The Steelers, we've talked about Aaron Rodgers and what he's going to bring, and Father Time maybe slowing him down. But TJ Watt, through injuries and everything like that, has always been a beast when he's on the field. So him staying on the field, I feel like for the Steelers is as much as the offense needs to click. No him, no Steelers.
And you saw it over the last couple of seasons. It absolutely changes all the calculations that their opponent has to make when Watt is out. When Watt is out, offenses they can play their own brand of football. But when he is in, they have to change what they do to avoid him. And he takes two all the time. So and he seems really fired up. Like he seems, now that he's got his contract, he seems like he wants to go and prove that he is worth every dollar that he made.
123 million would make me pretty fired up.
Yeah. That'd make me, it's funny, that'd make me lazy.
Did you notice the 108 guaranteed? They reckon that's not a coincidence because he's on 108 sacks.
Wow. Oh, that's good. I like that. Little
So-
tidbit in the contract. Little Easter egg.
He's so good, he's making jokes out of millions of dollars.
Hundreds of millions.
All right, here's a good question before we move on. Yeah, Derrick Henry versus TJ Watt. Who's coming out? Who's coming out in a fight?
In a fight?
A wrestle. Like a judo.
I reckon TJ Watt's the wrestler.
Yeah,
I
I reckon.
if it's in a wrestling ring where Henry can get a bit of a line up and run at him, it might be interesting. But if it's a grapple, I reckon TJ Watt's
Yeah, I
good.
reckon TJ Watt. Yeah.
He's also torn his pec, though, in the past. So that could be a problem.
What, so Derrick Henry just aims straight at his pec?
Straight at it. Run at it. Just picture it and head down and run at it. We've spoken enough about the Bengals and all of their defensive struggles. What about the Browns? They've got the... Charlie, I'll put it to you. A man that said, I'm not thinking about the money, I'm here for wins, but then chose to go to the Browns in Myles Garrett. Or stay at the Browns.
It is almost like that was a negotiating tactic. Like it really, like all of that song and dance really felt like it was just to get more money. But once again, like he has to see himself as filling the role of the leader of that team. That's the interesting thing. While they don't know what's going on at quarterback, he has to be the guy that carries the team on his
He's
shoulders.
their best player.
Yeah. And he'd be most teams' best player. But I'd say there's pressure on him to deliver, and I think there's an enormous amount of pressure on him to lead that defense to keep the Browns in contention in games while their offense figures out some massive questions.
I'm fully on board.
On board?
I can't see... No, on board with what Charlie's
I was
saying.
gonna
No,
say,
on board with
you're
what Myles Garrett
You're on
did.
the Myles Garrett train.
No,
That was a hot take.
no, I picked 5 or 6 other teams that he was going to before he was re-signed with the Browns. So he definitely shocked me by going back there. But he does have to step up and be that leader because who else do they have?
Didn't stay for the money, but got paid an exorbitant amount.
Well,
so.
I think he may have been genuine about going to other teams, but like I know that the Bills would have picked up the phone and rung them, but wouldn't have had the money. The money he was asking was like there were lots of teams would love to have Myles Garrett and had holes, that they absolutely need a Myles Garrett on their team. But who had that money? No one.
The Browns.
Just the Browns somehow.
Where
did it? Where? How?
Must have donated some from Deshaun. All right, I'm going to start off our hot takes and wild statements out of this division, and it's because I've watched the QB2 probably too many times. I really enjoyed it, and just Burrow for me, if he can catch fire like he did last year, I'm thinking 50-plus TDs and the MVP.
That can definitely happen, but they can't lose their first however many games. So when was the last time the Bengals went out?
He's
and won?
1-9 in his first 2 starts over his first 5 seasons.
Which is insane, isn't it?
Wow.
1-9.
That was going to be my stat, but you saw completely out of my mouth.
I saw it coming and I wanted it.
Yeah, because
He's my MVP.
Yeah, you're trying to defend your own hot take. But that was going to be my point. Like, he can't start 0-2 to start the season and then go on, well, unless he wins every other game from then on out. But we saw him try and win when he had to, when there was no other games left. He can do that. But realistically, you need to be doing that from week 1. You can't start that in week 2, 3, 4.
Controversial take. I think it's harder for him to win MVP than Lamar Jackson, Patrick Mahomes, or Josh Allen, who are that's your top tier of quarterbacks in the NFL. They're the 4 that you instantly, they should be in contention for MVP. The other 3 are mobile. They run, they make run plays that change the game. What is tough for Burrow is he's a pocket passer. He's as good as there is. He's the best pocket passer in the league, but that's what he's got. He isn't a dual threat. So he has to play so well. He has to throw so well for the season to be MVP.
Year.
He did.
And didn't.
And then the one time he rushed for like 25 yards because no one expected him to go. And even the ref came up to him and was like,
what are you doing?
I didn't know you had that in you. He's like, you've got legs?
That's my longest one. That's my hot take. So I do agree with that. They don't make playoffs, he doesn't win. So he could throw 60 and he still won't get it.
Controversial question back at you as far as him for MVP goes. I don't want this to happen. It would be terrible for the game if it did. But if Jamar Chase has a season-ending injury early on, does Burrow still win MVP?
It's going to have if it hurts. T. Higgins now number 1. I don't know who's number 3.
But like him and Chase have had the connection from LSU from way back when, and that connection, like that continuity isn't built overnight. There's years and years in the making. So say no.
To answer that question, I will use Jamar Chase's words from just this week when he.
So you had the answer, and
he said no. He said this week that teams have to plan for Josh Allen. They don't have to plan for Joe Burrow. And it may have been taken out of context, but he was talking about how Jamar Chase is the person that they have to plan for, not Joe Burrow. That's Jamar Chase's words.
To agree with that, they know where the ball's going. You still have to stop it.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Right.
But I think Chase and Burrow are that's a package deal.
Yeah, makes it a lot harder. Charles, do you have a hot take?
All right, I'll go Browns hot take. At the end of this season, we are no longer talking about what are the Browns going to do at quarterback. Shedeur Sanders will be franchise quarterback for the Browns.
Wow. Signing contract extension. Is that as far as we're going?
Well,
I mean, year 1.
That would be, I was going to say, you would have to be a terrible GM to do that, but it's the Browns. But I think they will have a starting quarterback that they are happy to be the franchise quarterback by the end of the season.
Imagine how pumped up his dad would be. His dad was already all over X and posting about, this is your QB. This is how dare you let him slip in the draft and all this sort of stuff. So imagine if he's then the QB1.
Other hot take prediction, his dad's been banned from the facility because of some kind of incident during the season.
Sticks of, is it LeVar Ball or whatever?
Yeah,
a lot of that about it.
There's a little bit of LeVar Ball about it. Except at least Sanders' dad, is a coach.
Could do it.
Yeah, could
and
do
played.
it. And played. Yeah. My hot take's actually on the Steelers, and it's that Tomlin finally has a losing season.
Wow.
Which is huge. The Steelers actually haven't won a playoff game since 2016, And then their last playoff appearance, they actually lost to the Browns.
So the Browns have won one.
The Browns have won one
Wow.
since, which is crazy to think about. Like, we just listed the Browns QB room and like all the struggles that the Browns are having. They actually
That was a
beat...
Baker year, though, wasn't it? Yeah, it was. Baker beat them. So that's Baker. We love Baker.
Yeah, absolutely wild. So, sorry, Aaron Rodgers, this isn't going to be the farewell tour that you want. Tom's going to have a losing season.
And to think the Steelers really could have picked up Sanders in round 2 of the draft, round 3 of the draft, round 4 of the draft. Like, come on, they could have had a much better situation.
Yeah. Interesting. All right, straight into the unders, overs. Danny Boy, what's at the bottom?
So the Browns under over is sitting at 5.5, and for the over is paying $2.25. So favourites go under that 5.5 mark.
Yeah. I reckon that's a good number. I reckon it'll be about that 5-6 mark. So I'll say unders, but it'll be close. Only because they're in the hardest division in the league.
Yeah, like when you've got to play 2 games against the Ravens, Steelers, and Bengals, well, that's potentially 6 losses. You might steal 1. So all right, cool, you're 1-5. Not a good record.
I feel like my hot take has snookered me here because I don't think they're backing in Shedeur Sanders as quarterback unless they've actually won more than 5 games.
Oh, no, you could... Like, when we said
He can play the last 5 games.
He plays the last 5
and wins them
and
all.
wins 4 or 5 in the last.
But I reckon he can have a 5-win season and they still walk away and go, he's our man.
Yeah, actually, yeah, I think you're right. I'll go under because I'm sane and it's that division. But it'll be 5.
Yeah, you'd be crazy to go over. I'm going unders as well. Next, we got the Steelers. Their over under is 8.5, and it's paying $1.91 to go over.
That's a winning season.
I've already called it having a losing season, so you can't have 9 wins and have a losing season. That's what
And
we
I'm
figured
saying
out throughout
I'm
the episodes.
Big Aaron Rodgers overs.
Yeah, absolute unders. Aaron Rodgers is washed.
Moving on, we got the
Everyone's going to get really excited because he'll hit on the first drive of the first
DK
game.
Metcalf,
He'll hit a
75
nice
yards.
35-yard. He'll hit DK Metcalf on their scripted opening drive, and that'll be it.
I'm going to put... I don't know if I can bet on it, but he loves to start with a big bang. So I reckon DK 75-yard touchdown, play 1.
just have to play 1.
First
And
ball.
it has to be a
He
broken
used
play.
to do it
it has to be a broken play. Aaron Rodgers loves a broken play, so flags against the defense and he's got a free play, then yes, I'm agreeing with you. But he's not just on a 75-yard. Can he even throw
does
75 yards anymore?
It doesn't have to be 75 yards. But he used to do it all the time with the Packers. It'd always start with a big bomb. And I reckon 2 or 3 times I remember it came off and was, perfect way to start the season.
Then how good is it going to be when he loads up for that big bomb and he's picked off first throw of the season? Pick six, running at home. An aging, clapped out Aaron Rodgers, the only guy to stop the safety of the cornerback running
And you
through.
see Tomlin being like, don't run,
Don't run.
let it happen.
And he does his other Achilles. It's going to be great. I can't wait. Opening first game, everyone's watching.
Clapped out. Is such...
And they say the NFL isn't scripted. Next, we've got the Bengals over under is sitting at 9.5, and for the over, it's paying $1.83. So, T-Mac, we already kind of know where you're heading with this. If you've got Joey B for MVP, you got to go over 9.5 wins.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Oh, sweet. I've answered for you, Charlie.
I'm going over, but I'll put one little asterisk beside this, and it's a thing we haven't touched on a lot. Burrow's yet to prove his durability. He's been quite, for someone who is talked
Wasn't
about
his first preseason?
as elite, and he is top tier, and everyone talks him up. But of that top tier, he is the most frequently injured quarterback. So I'll just say,
I think
yes,
he's the most sacked quarterback nearly of all time, so it's probably fair.
he's just so many stats. He's off the charts. But yeah, I think. Look, they will go over. They're a great team, but keep an eye on Burrow's fitness for the season.
Yeah, I'm going overs as well because he actually has gone through his preseason. He has gone through his whole training camp, and I reckon they're going to start out and they're going to be 2-0. So that's my hot take. So
that's a hot take.
So they're definitely going over. He's going to turn the script. They've improved their defense. It can only get better. Now this one is hot. The Ravens over under is sitting at 11.5. For the over is $1.91.
So slightly underdog to go overs because that's what's the biggest one we've had.
It's even. It's even. So it'll be $1.91 to go over or under.
Under.
It's smack bang on.
Yeah, it's a good number, and they're probably going overs because they're going to be good.
Well, all they've done is improve on the offense and on the defense, and they had more wins than that last year anyway. So yeah, I'm definitely going overs.
Yes, I'm going overs, but my quarterback asterisk for this one.
You can put an asterisk on every one of them.
No, but I'm enjoying it. This is it's a new thing. Is Lamar as good as he was last year?
Yes. Yep.
Well, we'll find out.
By the years, yeah. He was stiff not to get MVP last year. You'd obviously disagree. But
And some would say fortunate to get it the year before.
yeah, that's fair.
I actually think statistically,
he had a better
Allen
season.
had the better year the year before,
Yeah.
and Lamar had the better year
they should've-
last year.
should've
Like
switched
it's interesting the way that narratives form.
Yeah.
But
Scripted.
but I will be interested to see if people like just if he is at that stratospheric level again, and the same with like Allen as well. How do you match that a season like that? How do you do that 2 years in a row? Will be interesting to see.
Yeah. Nah, it's definitely going to be. We've said it from the start. This is going to be an absolutely hot. They went 12-5 last year, so it's bang on what they went last year, and
Yeah, well,
they've only gotten better.
they've really gotten better. So they're I reckon they'll get minimum 12 wins, if not more. And I'm saying they're going to take out the division.
NFC North they're playing though. They're going for the two hottest divisions.
Is the NFC North going to be the hottest division?
Well, you have to wait till next week.
Yeah, we're going to have to wait till next week.
or next episode, because that's who we are covering. And I reckon that's a perfect way to finish off, saying that NFC North is up next. Yeah, bring on that one, boys.
Go Bills!
You can't have it every time.
You got to be quicker.